Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Sunday, December 13th, 2015. Black Wolf here in the Lynn-Life at the microphone, Ra in the back room, Ra 2 in the Jamie Body Mind, other teammates in other aspects of the physical dimension, all of us except potentially one in the physical dimension, and all of us in the subatomic from the perspective of the spirit world viewers. It's unclear what we're supposed to shine the spotlight on for the videoed portion of today's effort, so we're using the foundational intention, which is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions to manifest the divine plan. The data clearly showing what's needed is to provide a collective restart, wiser minds above, knowing that nothing happens without a deadline. They have given us the deadline of January 17th, 2017 to work toward, and given us a series of nested deadlines that take us from where we are in any moment to that collective restart. The next deadline is the start of winter, the winter solstice, December 21st in the eastern time zone of North America in planet Earth. Our intention is to meet all those assignments by their assigned deadlines. With that, it begins. Someone's asking me questions. What do I know? I know that the assignment for the Search for Truth pillar is to upgrade the standards of integrity to that which will actually work to manifest the divine plan. Someone says, that's right. And then there's a pointer that's pointing to spots in the Search for Truth pillar that are places in which to put focus on this. And part of this is the refugees, the people who have been rescued from subatomic levels, who had been basically covered in the lies.
That's true.
And these sentient presences have been given the choice of giving back to the effort by joining in the effort to rescue those who are in even deeper levels of the subatomic.
Yeah.
Or moving on to thing 2, where there are no current rescue efforts in place, and therefore if they just want to do nothing, they can go to the top of thing 2. But if they want to work, they can work here and search for truth if they really feel a hunger to live the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So
That's
help me
true.
God. And if their commitment to truth is a lighter level, then and they just want to give back, then they can give back in the Thing 1 project.
That's true.
Where we are also digging down through the compacted lies to attempt to establish a beam through which truth can flow.
That's true.
Many of these refugees are choosing to do none of the above,
Right.
and are choosing to hide out in the walls and hope that we don't notice them.
That's true.
But what they're doing is holding up the rescue efforts, because we are not allowed to resume digging until all of these presences are out of the pillar.
That's true.
So we're just live streaming it up. We have our diggers ready to go here, but they can't begin. The hallways, the corridors that are traveled are, unless I'm missing it, they're now pretty clear.
That's true.
And what's left are the walls. What are the walls? The walls are the barriers that we erect between ourselves and other
That's true.
presences who we view as different than me and people like me.
That's true.
And therefore, this is about eliminating prejudice and bigotry and seeing that there's actually only one of us here and having just one big open space.
That's true.
And Pete, at End of the Line Outpost, made an excellent point this morning, is that doing this all at once is overwhelming, and so to know what order in which to remove these barriers is very helpful.
That's true.
And wiser minds above had suggested to Pete that he begin by removing the barriers that look like floors between the levels of the subatomic,
That's true.
so that he is open to subatomic aspects of himself. And then the second stage of the process was suggested to Pete, so that when he finished removing all the floors that he could discern in that point, that he could then move into the next part of the process,
That's
which was
true.
to just vibrationally sort for those his mind is categorizing as other than me, but close to me, so
Yes.
the ones that match the closest matches, and then to remove those barriers.
That's true.
And then to simply expand the process at a pace he's able to sustain
That's true.
until there are no more barriers. Okay, all
can do
hands
that.
on deck. Let's start to remove these barriers, and we can begin removing the floors. A partial floor is better than a full floor.
That's true.
And to remove the barriers at a pace that's sustainable and we don't freak out and turn around and run the other way is really important.
That's true.
And to remember that this is an eternal process of seeing ourselves as part of a larger and larger and larger and larger oneness.
That's true.
What matters is sustained effort, and it's damaging to push forward to an unsustainable position and then turn tail and run. It's much better to take down the barriers at a pace that we can sustain.
That's true.
And that deep breath is a sensation of calming ourselves as anxiety arises when we start to say, well, hey, everybody else really has the same concerns that I have.
That's true.
We all want to be healthy, reasonably safe, secure, and have occupations that fulfill us.
That's true.
So to these people hiding in the walls, what is it you're doing? You can't be fulfilled. You're just hiding in the walls. And what you're doing is blocking rescue efforts to rescue people who foundationally are just like you.
That's true.
What is it you're doing? What is the thinking? Help us find the disconnect. Because to me, when this announcement was made early this morning, it seemed to me as though anybody with good intent hiding in the walls would come out immediately and say, oh, I am so sorry, let me get on a transport, this isn't my right place, and I want to move out of the way so
That's
that you
true.
can continue to rescue people who, just like me, are trapped in piles of lies.
They don't seem to have a good answer.
They don't have any answer.
No.
It's a weird twisting of selfishness and cowardice and laziness.
That's true.
That seems to be most of it. They don't seem to be arguing
They're not arguing.
with the truth of it. They can
They're
tell that what we're saying
yes.
is true.
They can see we're not moving forward.
Yes, and that we have instructions to clear the pillar
That's true.
before we start digging through more calcified lies. I am
Clear
really
these walls.
baffled. What now? What now? What now? Deepen the merge so that we are at one with the walls.
That's true.
And we begin to burn ourselves, and then the walls begin to burn, and then they'll either burn with us or they'll scoot on out of the walls and get onto the transports.
That's true.
Luce, you're looking really tired. You need to rest.
That's true.
Don't push yourself too hard. You need to rest. Please stop working. Don't do any energy work right now. You discern the truth of that. You're burning out. You're going to burn out if you keep at this pace. You're a sprinter. I see that. I know this about you. You're
That's
a
true.
sprinter. And this is a marathon. This isn't a sprint. And so you have to a sprinter can run a marathon in running and walking,
That's
running
true.
and walking, running and walking, running and walking. But a sprinter, to sprint 26 miles isn't going to happen.
That's true.
So please walk. He seems to feel that there's a big danger. He says, you don't understand.
That's
this problem
true.
needs to be solved right now.
That's true.
This is really, really bad.
Whatever this danger is, it seems to has to do with Kosa and maybe also the golden people who are in the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh. Get their higher souls to help. that actually is better for them.
That feels better.
And if you can just tell them what to do, talk them through it, show them what to do, set the example, then have them do the heavy lifting. Rather than you trying to lift the Titanic all yourself, get the higher souls engaged to lift the Titanic, and you just give the heave-ho calls.
The highest higher soul of Team Awakening who's ready, willing, and able to grade the work and make it right.
And that's a recognizable hand. It's either raw or loose.
That's true.
I see something that I didn't see before.
What do you see?
Yesterday, when our communication was intercepted, when our closing process was grabbed by a fat hand that was clearly not... it wasn't clear whose hand that was.
It was a familiar hand.
It was a familiar hand, and it wasn't recognizable. And we had submitted our closing process to the highest, higher soul of Team Awakening, who was ready, willing, and able to grade the work and make it right. And instead, this chubby hand came in and grabbed it.
That's
familiar
true.
Hand, but a chubby hand, not a worker's hand.
No.
It was a spectator's hand.
That's true.
And that's not a member of Team Awakening.
No.
And after that, in the overnight, Ra had something that was implanted in him that was kind of like radioactive.
That's true.
It's like one of those horrible Western medicine things where the cure is worse than the situation was originally.
That's true.
And now there's something wrong with Kosa, and it's possible.
Oh, that's true.
The entire refresh yesterday was pulled off track by that fat hand person.
That could be, because I'm not sure what's happening with Kosa, but I am sure it's not good.
Yeah, something's wrong. So let's back up to before we submitted that, and then submit it to Team Awakening, and I can see that fat hand grabbing for it.
I feel it.
But to just say no.
No.
And feel it hitting it feels more like a loose hand.
That's
maybe.
true.
What was the error? A convenient lack of curiosity. Why was that hand fat?
That's
yes, true. It was a convenient lack of curiosity. So correcting the errors of a convenient lack of curiosity. Well, this can help Pan. That's what has burnt him. So please come up here so that you can be under the bright lights and we can figure out what's going on. I feel like she's coming up.
Yes.
She's really sick.
She's really sick, like not very conscious.
No. All right. We're live streaming this up. Somebody way the heck up high intercepted a communication of spirit and sent in things that are sickening the leaders of the team.
That's true.
So here's all the filming. Their fingerprints are all over it. And I feel those big loose fingers
That's true.
making shifts in the work. The closing process can be the key to a session.
That's true.